Hello, everyone, and welcome to Check the Credits, a journey through music's biggest blunders. Welcome to the podcast dedicated to getting to the bottom of how and why certain records get made. Did the Beatles ever put out a turd? Well, no, but John Lennon did. Paul McCartney has, George Harrison did, and Ringo certainly has. What about Jay-Z? The mighty Van Halen, Metallica, Eminem, The Stones. We're going to do some in-depth reconnaissance and uncover the stories behind some of the worst records ever made by the music industry's biggest bands and artists. We are your hosts, Michael Green, and Sam is Axl Rose, a white supremacist Atwood. Sammy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Mikey. How are you? Actually, I've got a better question for you.
Oh my gosh. That made my skin crawl a little bit.
All right.
So, with that in mind,
Yes.
can you introduce for me and our audience who we're tackling today?
I certainly can. All right. Today, we're talking about the last of the dangerous bands. The last proper bad boy rock and roll band. The last of the accidental blockbuster bands. The ones who weren't meant to really make it, and certainly not make it as big as they did. This band came up during the hegemonic reign of hair metal. Mm-hmm. Now, not just any band can single-handedly change the wave of the music industry. Many talk about grunge ending hair and glam metal, but many people forget that after this band broke, hair metal bands stopped wearing makeup and started wearing ripped jeans and jean jackets. So they primed the pump for what grunge would do a few years later. This band understood the rock and roll necessity of making big statements. Some bands have a hit and chase it the rest of their career, but the greats do the opposite. They chop down and bury their own best work. They get lost in their own version of reality. This sometimes leads to bloated albums, missed shows, ridiculous statements in the press. Basically anything that a wildly talented, megalomaniacal, rich and famous band could do, they did. But it also results in some of the most exciting, life-changing, industry-changing music. Their extreme vision is polarizing, inciting either lifelong devotion or passionate, riotous hatred. And the beauty of this band is that they're able to create that polarization within their own fan base in real time, turning their most devoted fans into car overturning, looting, fire starting, scorned lovers. That's the kind of energy and excitement that can only be conjured by a band that is melodic yet heavy, beautiful yet grimy, tight and sloppy, intense, intensely serious but fun. A band that can write, I used to love her, but I had to kill her. I'd hate to look into those eyes and see an ounce of pain. But honey, you're a bit obscene. You got the face of an angel with the love of a witch. And other words that rhyme with witch. Songs that build up and songs that degrade, songs that excite and songs that depress. Today, we are talking about the legendary Guns N' Roses.
Guns and Roses.
They have written songs that deserve inclusion into the Great American Songbook, classics that even someone with only a cursory knowledge of rock and roll knows and loves. But along the way, they recorded an album called The Spaghetti Incident.
Yeah, they did.
And that's the album we're discussing today.
Oh, booyah. Dude, that was great.
Yeah?
That was a great intro. Well
All
done.
right,
That's the best one so far.
Oh, thank you.
Man, I could listen to that all day.
Good.
You know what? Read it again.
Okay, so...
Fuck them damn monkeys.
Phil, I've missed you.
Oh, Phil.
So, Sammy, tell me about your personal history with Guns N' Roses. Your personal relationship with this band in your life.
Yes, okay. My personal relationship with Guns N' Roses comes from two kind of major moments.
Okay.
One was when I was 18 years old, I went to California to go record with a guy, a really good singer. I was supposed to be the hotshot guitar player. it didn't really work out that way. But anyway, he was a huge Guns N' Roses fan.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he let me hear a lot. And
What year is this? Sorry.
that would have been in 1998.
Okay.
So I was 18 or whatever. And I
Yeah,
mean, I
yeah.
knew Guns N' Roses,
Sure.
obviously, but I like meeting like a big fan. Like I
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
like, I dove into that world and I learned a lot. Now, a few years before that,
Mm-hmm.
my other big Guns N' Roses memory was I had some cousins who immigrated to Canada from Egypt, and we went up to Toronto to go visit them for the first time, meeting them for the first time.
Yeah.
3 brothers, a bit older than me. And we went to the mall, and there was a music store there, like instruments music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
yeah.
the one was like an amazing piano player, self-taught, and the other one was a guitar player. And he was a Guns N' Roses fan.
Yeah.
And so he was like, oh, you know the song Don't Cry? And I was like, yeah, I know that song. And he starts playing it for me in the shop. And I hope he never hears this because it was so bad. Bless him. Like, I can't go to Egypt and start singing a song in Arabic.
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
singing this song, but it was like, he was like, and don't you cry tonight, there's a heaven above you, baby.
So it's better.
And I was like, oh man, I can never listen to that song ever again. And
Without thinking of
no. Like I couldn't listen to the song after that. I literally heard that for the first time in like 25 years or
Right.
whatever, just like last
During
week.
this exercise.
Doing this.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I gotta listen to it. I gotta listen to it. Yeah.
That's an amazing story.
Those are my Guns N' Roses memories.
Oh,
How about
excellent.
you?
Oh, no. For me, it's right in the beginning of Appetite. I wasn't aware of the EP that came out, the Live Like a Suicide thing, but when Appetite came out, yeah, that was it. I had it on cassette tape, and
How old are you?
yeah, like 8, 9 years old. Yeah.
You got some real roots in this stuff.
Yeah. It goes deep.
I'm such a poser.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So-
yeah, I was 18.
So I loved Appetite, and I think being a kid and the novelty of all like the swearing and stuff like that was just
Yes.
so cool to listen to music with F words in it, And I wasn't a hip hop guy, so
Yeah.
the F words in rock music was kind of like more of a okay. So the rebelliousness of the band.
Yeah,
and,
that was definitely newish.
yeah,
Right?
Yeah, I would say. Yeah. So the spaghetti incident.
Yes,
This is the first time you're hearing this record?
it is. So
Okay.
my other big Guns N' Roses memory
Mm-hmm.
was going to pawn shops and trying to buy CDs really cheap.
Okay.
And you go through the bin, and I remember seeing just like loads and loads of Spaghetti Incident CDs.
Why?
And I remember being like, I've never even heard of that, but I'm not buying it because there's just way too many of these.
Yeah, it's a
here.
hint. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had never heard it.
It's a red flag.
How about you?
Yeah. So I had it growing up too.
Oh, okay.
And that was the one that I never. I always skipped it. So if there was a time where I'm like, I'm gonna listen to some GNR and go through their discography, I usually didn't do that one.
Yeah.
I was familiar with some of the tracks that had made the radio, but yeah, it didn't do anything for me. So the year is 1993.
Okay.
Some of the top news stories at the time in 1993 are Bill Clinton is sworn in as president of the United States.
Wow.
Terrorists drove a bomb-filled truck into the North Tower of the World Trade Center.
Oh, time to get paid, blow up like the World Trade. That's where that lyric comes from.
What lyric is that from? What song?
From Juicy, Biggie.
No way.
Yeah. So
Wow.
after the New York World Trade Towers went down, they started muting that bit.
No
Whenever
kidding,
they played
eh?
Juicy, you couldn't. For the longest time, they wouldn't play Juicy, but then they would start censoring that "Blow Up Like the World Trade."
Right. But he was referencing this first
That one.
occurrence. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Wow. And does the name Barney mean anything to you? Michael Jordan retired from basketball, switched to baseball, but then came back to basketball by 1995.
Oh, thank God.
Brandon Lee and River Phoenix were two big celebrity deaths in 1993.
Wow.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
both of those.
Yep. How about John and Lorraine Bobbitt?
That was that.
You remember that?
I do.
David Koresh
Yeah.
The whole
and the
Waco,
Branch
Texas
Davidian.
religious cult thing. Yeah, remember that? Michael Jackson is accused of fondling a 13-year-old boy in 1993.
Ah, Michael.
I thought it was later than that. But it's
That's really
1993.
early, eh?
Yeah. And finally, 2 of the 4 LAPD police officers involved in the 1991 beating of Rodney King were found guilty and sentenced to prison in a separate civil rights case.
I never knew that happened.
Yeah.
Really?
In 1993, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So top movies in 1993 were Schindler's List and Jurassic Park.
Okay.
Schindler's List cleaned up at the Oscars that year, even though Jurassic Park was the top box office grossers. So kind of feel bad for whoever directed
Unknown
Jurassic
guy.
Park. All right, so I wanted to go through the top songs on the Billboard charts in 1993. Are you ready for this?
I love this.
So I want to go through the top 10, but number 11 I wanted to mention to you anyway.
Okay.
Because I think you get a kick out of this. Number 11,
Yeah.
Dr. Dre, 1993.
1993?
Yep,
Dr.
Dr. Dre.
Dre?
You got it?
Is it G thing?
You got it, dude!
Okay.
Well done.
Thank you.
Were you listening to that in 93?
Yes.
You were?
Yes.
Awesome, man.
Yes.
That's cool. So number 10, and going through this, man, like I didn't recognize a lot of it, but
All right.
number 10, Snow.
Yeah, Informer.
Well done.
Informer.
Good for you. I don't even know that song. Rex and Effect.
Yeah, Rump Shaker. That was my jam.
This is amazing.
Dude, you know, Pharrell actually, like a 14-year-old Pharrell wrote one of the verses on that. Isn't that crazy? That dude's been doing it since Rump Shaker.
I didn't know that. 93?
Yeah.
Well, isn't he relatively... He's
amazing.
new, isn't he?
No, he's not new.
He's not new.
No, he's been
well,
around forever.
clearly.
I mean,
Wow.
with the Neptunes.
How does that even work? You're 14, you get a verse on that? How does that work?
I don't know if he was 14. So
But he's young.
He's
Yeah.
in Virginia with Teddy Riley, and he's a musician. And I guess he's hung around the studio and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. And he was like, I can write raps. And he's not. It's funny because Pharrell's not a rapper really,
Per
right?
se, yeah,
like,
yeah.
but he wrote a little rhyme that I don't know if Teddy Riley delivers it on the record.
Oh my gosh.
But that was like his start. And then he did a lot of ghost producing for Timbaland
Okay.
at the time. And then finally him and Chad started the Neptunes, and then they started producing for Nori and Jay-Z and stuff in the 90s.
This is a
and-
story.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's been around forever. And that dude still looks like he's like 20. He's ridiculous. Anyway,
Good genes.
yes.
Number 8, Mariah Carey.
I'm going to go with I have this cassette. This was
Still have it?
probably somewhere.
Sammy.
Emotions?
Dream Lover.
There's a lot of good songs on that record.
If you say so.
Yeah.
Shy or Shay? S-H-A-I?
Yeah. So, doom, da doo doom, doo doom. If I ever fall in love
You
again
got
or
it.
something. Yeah.
Dude, you're crushing this. What's happening right now?
Because man, this is my era. 1993. I did not think
I
I
should have looked at the rock charts
yeah,
because
yeah,
that's more
no.
what I.
Yeah,
my thing.
I was a pop kid.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
SWV?
SWV. Oh,
Is that an acronym for something? Do you know what it means?
I never knew.
Number 6.
I can't-
Weak.
I can't remember.
Okay. Silk. Number 5.
I can't remember.
Freak Me. Dude, that's okay.
No, I don't remember that.
Janet Jackson at number 4.
In 1993, that's
Yeah, that's the first word.
Scream.
No,
No.
that was the one she did with Michael.
Yeah,
right?
that's later. This isn't Rhythm Nation though. That was the 80s, right? So what's this?
That's the way love goes.
Okay,
UB40, number 3.
Red Wine.
No, the other one, the other big one.
The cover.
Yeah, the Presley cover. The Can't Help Falling in Love.
Yeah, can't help enough.
Who even wrote that? Oh, Presley didn't write it. Presley
don't
didn't
know.
write much.
Yeah, I don't know.
Number 2.
Yep.
Tag Team.
What?
Oh, you know the song then.
What is it?
Whoomp. There it is.
That was their name?
Tag Team, yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't even know that it was Whoomp. Like WHOOMP. I thought it was Whoop.
Yeah, me too.
I don't feel bad
Yeah, no, don't feel bad.
Okay. And the number 1 single
Yes.
in 1993.
Give it to me.
Whitney Houston.
Bodyguard?
And that's it. I Will Always Love You.
Yes.
From the Bodyguard soundtrack. The song is not called Bodyguard, though, just so you know.
What did I say?
You said Bodyguard.
I said Bodyguard. I didn't say Kevin Costner. I don't know. I could have said that.
Is the song called Kevin Costner? Costner? Danzig.
That is so much fun. I think I look forward to that game.
Well, you crushed that. That's
did. I'm
amazing,
so
dude.
proud of myself.
I hadn't heard. I think the Houston song. Well, I know of
No,
Whoomp,
you
there
know,
it is, but the Houston song is like the only one I knew. Good for you.
Thank you.
Well done. So,
I love it. Good start.
Are you ready
What are we doing?
to check the credits? Oh my good grief gracious. Released in November of 1993, The Spaghetti Incident is the band's fifth album. It's a covers album featuring 12 songs by various artists. It is the only GNR album not to be accompanied by a tour or any live performances. Now, in my research, I know
Right.
they had played some of the songs, like on the Use Your Illusion tours, but many of the tracks were recorded with original guitarist Izzy Stradlin, who wrote or co-wrote some of the band's biggest hits like Sweet Child of Mine, Paradise City, Patience, Don't Cry, and You Could Be Mine. But were finished with Gilby Clarke, who was brought in for the Use Your Illusion tours, and that was it.
Who's the other guitar player?
I don't know. A guy named Saul Hudson.
Okay.
Oh, we should probably mention that
What?
we saw Saul Hudson live
did.
here in Windsor.
We did.
Slash came to Windsor and played at the Casino of Windsor here. Is it just Caesars Arena? I think it's just Little Caesars Arena. No, just Caesars.
Caesars.
Not Little Caesars.
Not Little
It
Caesars.
wasn't.
No affiliation.
There was no pizza there.
Yeah.
But it was Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators.
Hold on, though.
Slash isn't real.
Have you heard this?
What? Slash isn't real. What
No.
is that? Is that South Park?
Yeah. You've never seen that episode?
No.
It's up to parents to decide when to tell their children Slash ain't real.
What is this?
It's great.
What is this episode?
It's the most random thing ever, but they basically like they present Slash like Santa Claus. They're like, think about it. How can Slash be everywhere?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's awesome. We should watch it after.
Oh, absolutely.
It's pretty funny. And then they show like they're like, no, look, it comes from like the old Hungarian stories of like these,
Wow,
And
that's
they're-
fantastic.
It's pretty funny
Why did they pick him?
because it's South Park, man. I don't know,
South Park.
but it's great.
Those guys are genius.
Continue.
Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and the
Oh,
Conspirators.
that was great.
That was
Yeah.
cool.
It was really
yeah,
cool.
It was
I
great.
really enjoyed
You know
it.
what? It was great. We had good seats.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to see Slash, like a living
like
legend,
in real
like,
life. And
in
you know
real
what?
life.
That is
Yeah.
so applicable, that South Park thing,
Okay.
because you see him for so long, larger than life.
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses,
Yeah.
the hair.
Yep, the hat.
The hat.
The cigarette dangling.
So to see it like
know.
in the same room.
The tattoos. Yep.
Yeah, I can totally see
He's
how
wearing
South
an
Park could be
Aerosmith
like,
shirt.
he's not even real. Like,
Yeah.
that's not even real. And he looks the same as
He looks
the 80s.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's amazing. He's aged amazing. I think he's 55 now.
Yeah. Dude, that's just karma or something, because he was always the coolest guy.
He was.
The nicest guy. Like,
Yeah, he is such a sweet guy. I've listened to so many interviews,
Yeah, me too.
whether it's podcasts or whatever. Slash is the coolest.
Yep.
Back to the credits. This is the only studio album to actually feature Gilby Clarke.
Yeah.
He was fired in like 94 or 95, like not too long after.
Okay.
So he stayed with the band for like 2 years. Released only 4 months after the Use Your Illusion tour ended.
Wow.
So the Use Your Illusion tour, I had some notes on this where it is.
Yeah,
It's
that-
considered the longest tour in rock
was gonna
history.
say.
28 months they stayed out on the road.
What?
Yeah. They stayed out on the road for 28 months.
That's just reckless. Whoever the management was or whatever, like you're asking for, and it's not like this is like a really good, efficiently touring band. You know what I mean?
Isn't that bananas?
Like this is you're doing this with Axl Rose.
Yeah. So
Like,
that is the
what?
longest tour in rock and roll history is 28 months to Use Your Illusion tour. So only 4 months after the tour ended, this was out on the shelves.
Oh wow.
So a lot of the recording was done during the tour. And from what I found, which you probably saw in your research too, was they wanted to do something that wasn't sort of so much work as the illusion, these epic sort of songs that was so much like layers and things. They just wanted to do a stripped down rock and roll record, so they decided to do this. It's the last album to feature guitarist Slash, bassist Duff McKagan, and drummer Matt Sorum, who replaced original drummer Steven Adler during the Use Your Illusion recording sessions. So Adler was the original drummer on, so I guess officially it's Live Like a Suicide, Appetite, and Lies he was on. I like Adler a lot. You know, what I was finding in a lot of my research, documentaries and things, was a lot of people rip on him. And they say like, oh, he was just a friend or whatever, and that was sort of the gig.
Oh, wow.
I didn't find that at all. And when I listened to anything live with the band with Steven Adler, like as soon as he was out of the band, as far as I'm concerned, that was sort of the beginning of the demise of that band, because Adler had Sorum was technically a better drummer than him. And I don't think many people, even Steven Adler wouldn't refute that. But Sorum didn't have the swing and the pocket that Adler had. That's what made that Appetite for the Destruction album swing. Was Adler's drumming.
That's kind of awesome.
And he did his job live. I mean, everybody's seen the Ritz show on YouTube. I don't know if you caught any of that footage. I mean, he's in the pocket, what he's supposed to be doing. So
yeah, that's a good point. I'm actually next time I listen to Appetite, I'm gonna just listen.
Really listen to the swing of Adler, dude.
Yeah.
Because there's something that Matt Sorum doesn't have. Can out-drum him. You want to talk about technically, or paradiddles and all these kinds of things. Sorum is a better drummer, but it's just like when you're looking at something like AC/DC. When Phil Rudd was gone from the band, you got Simon Wright. Simon Wright is a great drummer, and he went off to be the drummer for like Dio and things. And I remember seeing like drum solos with Simon Wright, and you're like, that guy from AC/DC? He could drum. Man, that guy.
Bald guy?
No, that was Chris Slade.
Okay, yeah.
And then eventually Phil came back. But if you listen to any of those DC records that weren't with Phil Rudd, just didn't have the swing.
That's interesting.
Just didn't have that swing, man.
That's awesome.
That pocket. So the album title, The Spaghetti Incident, references an incident Steven Adler had in 1989 while the band were staying in an apartment together in Chicago. Adler used to store his drugs in the fridge next to takeout food containers, and his code word for his stash was spaghetti. In his eventual lawsuit against the band, Adler's lawyer asked the band to tell us about the spaghetti incident, which they thought was funny, and decided to use it for the title of the album.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Imagine you're in this like tense deposition or whatever.
Right.
And you're sitting across from a lawyer and he's like, tell us about the spaghetti incident.
Your Honor.
That'd be great.
Yeah. This is the band's last album for 15 years.
Love that.
Until Chinese Democracy in 2008. So how do you feel about going through some producer credits?
I love that.
Got. 10 out of the 12 tracks are produced by Mike Klink, who produced every album from the band except Chinese Democracy, which I found he was involved with some of the things, but everything that he was involved with on Chinese Democracy in the beginning stages got like re-recorded anyway.
Okay.
So
I'm pretty sure Chinese Democracy probably was re-recorded about 30 times.
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
He also worked with Whitesnake, Triumph, Motley Crue, and co-produced the legendary Rust in Peace from Megadeth, and actually began work on Metallica's And Justice for All album.
Really?
But was eventually replaced by Flemming Rasmussen, who had worked on the previous 2 Metallica records.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah!
Yeah, yeah.
It's so good. So bassist Duff McKagan is also listed as a producer and actually sings lead or co-lead on several of the tracks.
Okay.
And finally, Jim Mitchell is listed as a producer on 1 of the 12 tracks. Mitchell is well known as an engineer for GNR, Mark Ford, the Black Crowes,
Okay.
so on and so forth. What do you say, man?
Fucking metal.
All right, James. Come on, James.
Come on, James.
Poppy blood. We're getting ready to go through our track-by-track review. So, real quick, Guns N' Roses have sold over 100 million albums worldwide, 45 million of those in the United States. Appetite for Destruction is the best-selling debut album in the United States with 18 million albums in the US alone and has sold 30 million copies worldwide. on one record.
Wow.
What's crazy is that they've sold over 1 million records, 100 million records worldwide, and that's based off of only 6 albums total. Off of 6 albums.
That is insane.
Bon Jovi in the 2000s put out a box set called 100 million Bon Jovi fans can't be wrong.
Yeah.
But that's off of how many records?
Yeah.
Off of 6 albums, these guys.
That's not right.
They were just the right band, the right time, and connected with the youth in the right way, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah. So covers were used for the Use Your Illusion records. Live and Let Die was on Use Your Illusion 1, and then Knockin' on Heaven's Door was on Use Your Illusion 2. So I know that the covers thing was going to be part of that whole sort of, like, there was 2 albums, but it was going to be like 3 or 4 because they were doing all these covers. Like, you want to talk about self-indulgence and bloatedness.
I love it. I love it. I really do. Like, I love when that's what makes these bands great.
Okay.
That's what makes them great, is
Entertaining.
that they lose their minds and they do things like this, but that's what gives you the great work. You don't get you don't get just like, oh, that was a sensible decision out of a band
They
that
certainly weren't
creates.
safe. They never did anything safe.
Right.
So if you look at the Live at the Ritz in the the 88 footage on YouTube, they actually play Knock on Heaven's Door in there. So it seems like that version of the Bob Dylan classic was part of their live repertoire for quite a few years. So let's see. What do you say, man? You want to get through the track by track review? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, I'm ready too. So up first, we have Since I Don't Have You.
Hey there. If you want to listen to this clip, you're gonna have to go download the album. If you dare. It's pretty shitty. Hence the purpose of this podcast. Anyway, back to the show.
Oh, I would like fist bump you if it wasn't so lame. Since I Don't Have You. So Guns were the 4th act to have a hit with this song. Originally by the Skyliners, a classic for the doo-wop group in 1958. Don McLean and Ronnie Millsap also covered it. Which I've never heard either of those covers. So I did not care for this.
No.
Doesn't make sense on an album full of punk and rock covers. And the decision to open the album with it is bizarre.
Yeah.
I prefer the original, man.
Of course.
Yeah.
The original is beautiful. That whole like falsetto, that female counterpoint at the end, like the orchestration,
so
everything
good.
in that was just
And Buddy's voice was
flawless.
just
Yeah,
gold,
that
like
whole-
so smooth. The video features Gary Oldman playing like the devil, so I
Yeah.
guess that's something.
yeah.
I read Slash's book, and he says that Gary Oldman checked himself into rehab after that video was made.
From one day with Guns
joke.
N' Roses.
I'm sure he had issues before that, but so I did some legwork on YouTube
Okay.
and tried to find some comments
Gimme.
as they related to each song.
Okay.
So, first up, Shelly Kemp, 8 months ago, says, to Jason, stop sending me messages. I am married. My husband didn't appreciate it.
Okay. I have no Jason Newsted drops. That's awesome.
Right?
That's awesome.
What's happening?
Tell him. Jason's
good
like,
Shelly.
Jason's like, I
Tell
don't,
Jason
I don't
to-
have you,
Will
Shelly.
you back off?
Yeah.
What did you think was going to happen
That's
on
awesome.
YouTube?
Wow.
Steve Donahue, 4 months ago, says this almost has 1,000 likes with no dislikes, which is unheard of, but I gotta be that guy.
Whoa. Okay.
Anisha Blue, 7 months ago, says, I live out in the woods.
Oh, that's so great.
And finally, Mario R, 6 months ago. Mm-hmm. This lime cactus beer is pretty damn good.
You know what it's like? It's like when people like send a text to the wrong person. Oh. Like he was just on that beer's YouTube page.
Oh my gosh, dude.
That's awesome. Okay.
So, next track up is called New Rose. Yeah, so they did the cover like to a T. Like the song even opens with Duff going, "Are you really going out with him?" And the original does too. It's like, really, guys? But so it's originally done by The Damned in 1977. Bassist Duff McKagan sings lead on this one. It's okay.
No, it's all right.
Got good energy. Nice drum work by Matt Sorum. I still dig the original better.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I think
cool.
it's something that's going to come up a lot with these because, like, obviously punk rock and it kind of, it needs a non-singer.
Duff was the punk guy of the band.
Sure, but he still does a really good job of it. And I mean, it's not like, Use Your Illusion level of production.
Yes.
But it's still not that kind of
Appetite.
like... Or
that
even like
Appetite energy, right?
The Damned, you know what I mean? Like when you listen to the originals, these punk originals, the mystique and the charm is in the production. It's in the fact that like the band can only kind of play or whatever, or they're limited anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's my theme throughout this whole thing.
Yeah, I feel like at times the band, and with somebody like Matt Sorum, who is like a technician as a drummer, he's playing it like too well.
Yeah, no, totally.
You know what I mean? He's playing it too well. Duff is the punk guy. So he pulls it off decently, but Dave Vanian is the original, baby. So I got some YouTube comments. Al Hooky Dollarama, 8 years ago, says, "They are Guns N' Roses, not Guns and Roses." LOL.
He wants you to say that, they're Guns
Guns
Roses.
Roses. I might have said "and" like in our intro. Jason Tibbetts, 2 months ago. I've never heard this before. I expected to hear Slash wanking all over it, and I was going to get all pissy about it, but they did a really nice job.
Wow, get lost, guy.
Get lost, Jason Tibbetts.
First of all, if you ever say anything disparaging about
He's a dead man.
Slash,
You're a dead man.
Yeah.
Stefano Congui, 8 years ago, says, "This is punk." And I don't like punk.
Okay.
All right. Track number 3 is called "Down on the Farm."
Oh man, not Down on the Farm.
I really shouldn't have faded off on Slash there. So this is originally recorded by the UK Subs in 1980. Axl sings this in a garbage English accent. I've no idea why you even do that. I've always loved the sound of G&R guitars. Sonically speaking, they have a very distinct sound. Just that sort of Les Paul through a Marshall turned up to 11 crunch. Do you have any comments, man?
I have nothing. Literally, my whole comment was just going to tell you to do that in a British accent.
All right, man.
All right.
How was that? Was it better than Axl's?
That was good. Yes, it was better than Axl's.
Good gravy.
Why did he think he would do that?
I don't know. Actually, I don't remember hearing that when I was a kid, so this is the first time, and I'm like, why is he doing this in an English accent? And nobody said anything?
Yeah.
But I'm thinking you probably can't step to Axl, especially at this point
for sure.
in the old career. Pre-bloated fat Axl. This man's cut. He's ripped. He's a ginger. So he's probably got he's probably got an APW.
I mean, Slash didn't step to him on Lies.
What?
On 1 in a Million. He didn't step to him then. He's not going to step to him for a little.
Are we going to tackle
English
1 in a Million?
Accent. No, we don't have to do that. We can keep it moving.
Good gravy. So Tori Slusher.
3
weeks ago.
What are you doing?
Fun fact. Did you know the word matrix actually means a pen for sheep in French?
I'm high as hell.
What?
My reaction too, Phil. Is that true?
Okay.
Matrix in French means a pen for sheep? I didn't look it up.
Why? Why are you
I don't
saying
know
this?
why that, like, I guess down on the farm, so there's a little bit of like, okay, that makes sense there, but
Wow.
dude.
That's awesome.
Anyway, we got Tim3854 2 months ago says, "Been living the single solitude life on the effing farm for 19 years. Ain't so bad. Actually, I don't miss the city at all, given the way things have ended up these days." Just a little insight on Tim's life. Bucho Bruh, 10 years ago, says, The singer sucks. That's what makes it good. Kind of like Ozzy.
Wow, guy, what?
What? How you Shan! So the next song up on our track by track review is called Human Being.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were like, hey, Cat.
Time to die!
Like the end part. Like the cat wasn't like, time to die. Like, but the like it definitely made that noise.
Nice.
I kind of dug this one. I thought it was an improvement on the original, in my opinion. It's better than the
Dude,
original.
look at my
so-
notes. This cover is better than the original.
Wow.
But I still don't like it.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
All right. So the New York Dolls were sort of famous for not being able to play their instruments well, was part of their charm, though. But
There's a New York Dolls song I like. I don't know.
Oh, yeah? Which one's that?
I don't know. I can't remember. I probably should have looked it up. I remember liking a New York Dolls song at one point in my
It
life.
wasn't Human Being.
It wasn't
But this
a
has
song.
great energy and is obviously executed with superior like technical prowess.
Mm-hmm.
Axl actually sounds especially inspired. He's like rocking the kazoo in the outro.
I like the kazoo in the
You
outro.
like the kazoo part?
Yeah.
I thought Slash's guitar work was fab. But at pushing nearly 7 minutes, though, it's really long. I don't know why. The original's not that long, but the original had like a horn section in it and everything, and
It was weird.
yeah,
Yeah.
not good. Johnny Thunders was in that band, and he comes up a little bit later.
Yep.
So yeah, you didn't like it.
Didn't like it.
I don't like this song, but I thought, well, this was cool. I thought it was an improvement on the original. So
Yeah, it definitely was.
we're going to YouTube. See what Tom Coney 4 weeks ago says. Hi, my friend Axl is basically son addition from Alan and Tom Coney. This is emergency is for the life. The Yale Ivan, you son high is and dangerous. And then he follows that up with Tom Coney 4 weeks ago says the boss from restaurant in the address 2600 2nd Ave, Miami, Florida. The Argentinian guy high controlled to son Yale.
What
Yeah,
is happening?
I don't know. Like I feel like we need to get involved in this situation.
Yeah, I don't
like
think
I think Yale's in trouble
I think he's being held against his will.
at a restaurant at 2600 2nd Ave, Miami, Florida.
Wow. Okay. I think he's dead by now. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything we can do.
And finally, Kitten Gamer 2
Yep.
months ago says, "Damn, this song is kind of relatable."
I'm a human being.
Holy crap! Oh my god, no way! Oh boy. Raw Power is up next. Iggy Pop! Amen!
What do you got?
Well, my notes are basically like, you're not going to top Iggy Pop.
No.
It's not happening.
You need
They
to
give it a valiant effort, but it's one of the better ones on the Spaghetti Incident I found. But like I listened to the original, so I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to beat Iggy. So, but I thought it was one of the sort of the better ones that suited their sort of attitude and
Yeah.
rebelliousness, I guess. You have nothing?
I got nothing.
Nothing other than
Just Iggy.
my comment is Iggy.
Iggy.
Wilfred Sanchez 10 months ago says Duff is a very good vocals.
Nice. Yeah, Duff did a good job.
Duff did a good job. Nelmat73 1 month ago says Axl Rose was a precursor to Eminem with the spaghetti and the performance with Elton John. The performance with Elton John.
Oh my God! This guy!
Yes.
What's this guy's name? Shout this man out.
Nelmat73.
Yeah, man.
A month ago.
Yeah. Oh man, SpaghettiOs.
There's no Eminem without Axl Rose.
That was great. Yeah, no, absolutely. And Eminem's always like, always. If I have a nickel for every time I heard Eminem just freestyling. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I know. I remember he ended the whole Slim Shady record with that.
Don't try to beat Axl, man. can't be Axel. All right, that wasn't fair. I've got that.
Oh, fun. Yeah,
I'm
that's not
looping
fair.
that. Yeah,
Fun
that's not
exercise for the audience. Let's time how long I did that.
You know what that reminds
some
me
kind
of?
of record, right?
That reminds me of Nicki Minaj
She did that?
verses
Yeah.
where she gets paid like $250,000 to do a verse, at least, right? To do a verse, like, hey,
Even a
16
Monster?
bars, and the amount of times she'd be like, she'll hold a note for like 4 bars,
Yeah.
like. That note
That's a
just
good idea.
costed me, yeah.
That's a great idea for her, on her part.
On her,
It's kind of a dick move, but her verse on Monster is dope.
it's ridiculous.
Animal Expert 1 month ago says, don't like this album much. Just had to chime in. Let us know.
well, Animal
Thank you,
Expert.
Animal Expert.
You know what, Animal Expert? You should start a podcast where you take all the albums you don't like, and instead of writing a YouTube comment about it, make a whole podcast about it.
Dude, you just made his life.
Yeah,
What'd you do that for?
it's a great idea.
He's our competition now. Yeah, bish. Next song up is Ain't It Fun? This is the first single from the album.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Oh my gosh, Ain't It Fun? So this was the first single, originally by the Dead Boys in 1978.
And if anybody looks this up, there's a live version of this by the Dead Boys that I think is like awesome. It's even better than their recorded version.
Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I didn't look that up.
Yeah.
Oh, slacking. Axl shares vocals with Michael Monroe from Hanoi Rocks.
Hanoi Rocks.
On this. Again, I prefer the original over this again,
Yeah.
but I didn't like the song regardless. So I thought the lyrics were absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, but I don't know. I like the tune. I like the music.
Lyrics mean nothing to you.
Nah, lyrics
enough.
don't mean
Fair
anything.
enough.
Who listens to lyrics?
Well, Sammy, I do. New Eden 2 months ago says, "Nyah." No, I'm kidding.
I'm with you, Mikey. I'll follow. I'll be
New
there.
Eden 2 months ago says, as a singer who can now do high notes, and GNR being my fave band, this is one of the best songs in all musics. T.Y. Axel.
That's not Axel.
Oh, Roth.
Yeah, that's.
God, that sounds
Can you
so
do
good.
that though? Have you
No,
learned how to do
Axel can't
that
do that.
yet?
So good. Jeff, I'll run 2 months ago. 2 months? What's
Months
happening?
ago.
Whenever I hear this song, I just want to be in men's house smoking weed with my buddies. So suppressingly confusing. I never get this song.
And you gotta be high to do that shit.
Perfect.
Of course, 'cause that was a layup.
I knew
Come
Phil was
on.
coming in
Phil
on that
was
one.
there.
High as hell.
Yeah, Phil's always high as hell. He's just ready.
Carl Trestman 6 days ago. Slash.
That was my buddy Carl. I was like, Carl,
Could
we're
you do me
doing
a
this
favor?
episode. Mikey's having
Can
problems
you do me
finding
a favor?
comments.
Yeah. Slash, very underrated Axeman. Thank God for G/R for bringing back true hard rock when grunge had us true rockers by the balls.
Wow.
Grunge had us by the balls. man.
Grunge had us
I didn't
by
know
the
what we were going to do.
balls. Okay.
Are you ready for the next one?
What's the next
This
one?
is called Buick McCain.
Oh, Buick McCain.
Yeah. Originally recorded by T-Rex in 1973. With a little less than a minute remaining, the band launch into Big Dumb Sex
Yes.
from Soundgarden.
Yes.
Chris Cornell, baby. Another vocalist far superior.
So you know what's interesting about their reference to this song? Do you know what that song's about? So Big Dumb Sex, not what it's necessarily about, but I have this quote from Kim Thale.
Where he's just,
Song-
we're just going to say it, right?
What?
Is it that quote? Where he's like, we're not going to pussyfoot around it. We're going to actually say
No,
it.
yeah, sort of. So he
Oh,
said,
okay.
we were
Sorry, go
simply trying to kick all the lame ass rock and roll
Yes.
and dance music of the 80s
Yeah.
and late 70s in the butt. It's a parody of the whole genre of stupid rock.
Yeah.
So the fact that Axl heard that and went like, yeah, brother.
Do you think Axel picked that one?
I don't know. Yes.
I'm thinking Slash picked Soundgarden, dude.
You think so?
Well, just because I have to. I have to believe.
I
because
just always
Slash is
assume
cool.
everything is just Axl, but I could see how Axl could be like, no, that's awesome, man. We're going to use that, not realizing that Soundgarden is kind of,
Yeah.
that's kind of a dig at that sort of big pompous rock,
Which they were.
which they were.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
so.
Now,
That's
I'm sorry,
interesting.
Axl, if you knew that and that's
I'm
why you
thinking
were
he's not
using
s-
that.
I'm thinking he's not smart enough to know that. So
I don't know. I'm not a hater. I'm not an Axl hater. So,
I don't know how much of a hater I am,
yeah.
but I do find it difficult to defend,
like him?
to defend him.
Okay,
Taken
gotcha.
from their 1989 record, Louder Than Love, Soundgarden.
Yeah.
Great record. So that's Slash singing with Axl the whole song.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
No way.
Yep. Yeah, that's
Wow.
Slash and Axl.
That's why I like this song so much.
See?
Yeah, I knew it. 'Cause Slash is the man. Slash can't do anything bad.
So it's cool. It's typical sort of rebellious rock. The F word gets said a lot. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And Guns played shows with Soundgarden in the early 90s.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that tour was like Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Soundgarden.
No.
Can you imagine going to one of those? Yeah.
I thought it was like Skid Row.
Yeah. Soundgarden was in there too.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've got Slash's book at home, and there's pictures and stories of the GNR guys, like not Axl, but like Duff and Slash and the fun guys of the band.
Yeah.
They would like have blow up sex dolls and go on stage naked and like hump these sex dolls on like during Soundgarden's set.
Nah.
And like Soundgarden guys aren't really like they're pretty serious.
Yeah, you're not doing that at a Chili Pepper show.
No, so it didn't go over well. Let's just put it that way.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I remember it was just being like, why?
But they don't have a sense of humor? Like, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, is it?
I mean,
I don't think I'd want to like go into the green room and see Slash dry humping a sex doll and be like, "Oh, dude, bro." I'd be like, "Guy, what are you doing?"
You're saying they came on stage
yeah,
and did that.
That plus backstage too.
That's kind of funny. I mean, it's like a random kind of like
I think
surreal.
I feel like
is that
Seattle guys are
Slash
probably a little
humping
bit.
doll?
Yeah, I'm
Like,
thinking Seattle guys are a little shy. And
I think that's
introvert.
You know
like,
what?
I'm
That's
thinking-
lame. That's lame.
On
That's
Soundgarden's part,
yes.
watch your roll.
No,
you
I know.
slow.
Just hold
Slow
on,
your
hold
tongue.
on, hold on.
You better explain yourself.
All right, this is the thing. This was actually one of the reasons why I wasn't a grunge kid back in the day.
Neither was I.
I wasn't a grunge
No,
kid
me
because
neither.
I felt like it was overly serious.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're to the point of pretension. Like they were
Well,
just
dude,
being
they
too.
all dropped like flies. They all died. Who's still around from that era, man? Well, we
Yeah.
got Eddie Vedder, and that's about it. Everybody's gone,
Right? Really?
right? Who else is left? Man, Weiland's gone. Lane Staley's gone. Cornell's gone.
smokes.
Everybody's gone, dude. So I mean, they really like. I'm with you. They took themselves too seriously,
Way too
and there was
seriously.
abuse, and it was a dark time for rock and roll.
Yeah.
But that sort of the fun and the coke and ridiculousness of Guns N' Roses and Motley Crue, whatever, just doesn't mix with Nirvana and Soundgarden and Alice in Chains. It just wasn't the way it was. So
Definitely.
I definitely, at the time, was more of the Metallica GNR guy.
Yeah.
And it's not till late 90s, where most of those bands either broke up or something like Cobain was gone, so Nirvana was done, that where I really started to get into them and really appreciate
Me
a
too,
lot of that
actually.
90s stuff.
Yeah.
So I definitely lean towards putting on Soundgarden now more than I would a Guns N' Roses record any day of the week. Even Metallica, I would put on a Soundgarden record before that. But yeah. Anyway, do you have any more thoughts on that? Like the T-Rex original and the...
I liked it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Obviously. Yeah.
Did you like this version?
I really like this version.
Okay,
But
cool,
and
man.
to know that Slash sang on it makes me like it even more.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So YouTube comments, Sear Breath, or C, never mind, 6 months ago. Anyone notice Steve Harvey's dad is just wearing his work coveralls on the cover? Okay.
What cover?
Okay, so let me explain.
Okay.
I couldn't find one YouTube comment for this song anywhere, no matter where I searched. Okay. So these comments are from Tag Team's Whoop There It Is. So Baby Cakes 123 1 year ago says played at every Black family reunion.
Oh man. beautiful, Mikey. That's great.
Edmund Gates 4 months ago says, we're doing this for a recital at my dance school, which is called Spotlight Dance Academy. It's next to Dollar General by Mistletoe Drive, which that's where I live. So bye-bye.
Again, nothing to do with the Guns N' Roses cover we just listened to.
Yeah. Anyway.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey guys, this is one half of the long-winded duo. Just wanted to jump in and make sure you're enjoying the episode so far, and don't forget to check out part 2. Also, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the podcast so that you can be a part of all this gold. Share it and like it and tell all your friends. Hugs and kisses on all your pink parts.